Hey everybody, my name is Nicholas Dickens, and for episode 2 of my YouTube channel, I wanted to talk about bad slash toxic relationships, because no one ever talks about those ever. But honestly, I think if you've been living for any length of time and you've been going, if you've had like any boyfriends or girlfriends or flings or whatever, I think that it's become very true and it's become very evident that we all pursue bad relationships with people that we shouldn't, that we need to stay far away from, and we end up in these relationships that we don't really need to be in for way longer than we need to be in them. I tried to list a couple reasons as far as like men and women, but I think like as I listed them, we both be doing them. Let's be completely honest. But this one is gender, like the first one is going to be specific to men, and then the rest of them I think I'm just going to let them rock between both. With men, I see this more with men than with women. Submission. You're demanding her to submit to, like, oh, wife, submit yourselves to your husbands. Bro, y'all not even married for you to be like demanding that she submit to you, bro. Y'all just dating. And I mean, for you to be like trying to get her to submit to you, and you, first of all, you ain't even submitted to her yet. And second of all, you ain't even trying to be the type of guy, you don't aspire to be the type of guy that she would even want to submit to. You just want to stay your regular terrible self. Get out my face with all of that. You don't even, like, at least submit to her first and be like, and she'd be like, you know what, he's a terrible person, but he may start he may start to change. But keep it a stack. I'm gonna talk about that in a little bit. But honestly, you're not even trying to like submit to her, be the type of guy that she would want to submit to. Like, you ain't submitted to her authority. You want her to submit to yours. You ain't gave her no reason or rhyme to like even submit to you at all. Get out my face with all of that. But the rest of the, and that's that on that. But the rest of these, you with this person that's not trying to realize their potential. Now, it's one thing, if life just hits you. You know what I'm saying? Life is a strong like, life is strong. And life is a strong person that just got out the gym, that power lift, and got on brass knuckles and steel toe boots. Believe me, they will beat the brakes. Life will beat the brakes off of you and keep beating you. It'll beat you to your knees and it'll keep on hitting you just because you down. And honestly, that happens to people. But this person, they had a really good job and they was providing for you or whatever. But now, they got two decent jobs. They trying to make it, they making ends meet. They struggling just a little bit. And then they're working to get their certifications. They're working to get their degrees and all that. And they still making time for you. Stick with that person. I'm not talking about, like, this don't apply to that person. The person that this applies to is the person that's just sitting on the couch in their pajamas, eating bonbons, watching Oprah Winfrey all day, or watching whatever, or watching Love and Hip Hop all day long. Not trying to do nothing with their life, not trying to be nobody, not trying to realize any of the potential that they got. And they got a gold mine full of potential. And all they got to do is literally just walk out the door. And it's literally all going to hit them. And they don't even want to get up and walk out the door. Get away from that person. And then some people, they just not for you. They don't want a relationship with you, and you basically trick them. You basically use a Jedi mind trick or whatever to get that person to be in a relationship. Like, they're just not for you. They may be for you as a friend. Like, they're an amazing friend. Like, they are what they are. Like, when you think of a friend, that person comes to mind. But as a boyfriend or a girlfriend, they just like, oh my God, they just they're like the devil, but like, if there was a better, more qualified person to be the devil, and the devil kicked him out because he was afraid of losing his job. Like, that's the type of person you in with. Then some people, they just got low self-esteem. That low self-esteem basically made their insecure, and now they're insecure about everything. They have low self-esteem where they're insecure about every single thing. Like, this person got low self-esteem, so they think just terrible about themselves, and they don't want to work on it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to realize none of their potential. They don't want to work on none of their problems, but I'm going to talk about that in just a little bit. And you got low self-esteem too. You got low self-esteem. And some of this stuff was brought on by parenting. Some of this stuff you picked up along the way. But I'm not going to talk about parenting until a later video, okay? Don't ask me when. I'm going to make it later. But that low self-esteem made you develop a savior complex. You ain't get that savior. Like, some people are naturally nurturers. They just love building people up because they love to see people be the best version of themselves. No, you have this savior complex. Like, oh, nobody else in this world could change me. Like, oh, he's a bad guy and only I can change him. Oh, she's a hoe, and she's like, oh, she's a hoe, and I'm like, and she can only stop hoeing for me because I'm that special. You purposely pursue these terrible people just so that you can build them up and better them, and get them to stop hoeing, get them to stop breaking the law, get them to stop drinking and smoking and all that other stuff, literally to validate something that you should have thought about yourself before you went into that relationship. Get out my face with all that. Then sometimes you purposely pursue these terrible people and you ignore all these red flags. One, because you got on these rose-colored glasses and all those red flags look like flags and you don't want to take those rose-colored glasses off because you're addicted to the sex. Or because you're only accepting the love that you think that you deserve because you think you're this terrible person. Going back to that low self-esteem and those insecurities. Then on top of that, you not taking the time to heal yourself. You not taking the time to heal the cuts that came from the last relationship that you was in. So now you bleeding out all over this next person thinking they cut you. No, you just don't want to heal. Honestly, for some of y'all, you mess up every romantic relationship you in because you don't need to be in one. It's just not for marriage is not for everybody. And that's fine. It's okay to be single the rest of your life. It's perfectly fine. Like, some of y'all get into these relationships and then you hate each other and you hate yourselves even more. No, actually, you don't hate yourselves because you hate each other. You hate each other because you hate yourself. That person is the embodiment. That person is the personification of everything that you cannot stand about yourself when you see yourself in the mirror, when you think about yourself for more than 5.5 seconds at a time. And you don't want to work on it. But there are some things that you can do to counteract this, to combat this. Work on yourself. Work on yourself. Better yourself. Take a year off from relationships. You've been in 6 romantic relationships in the last 12 years, and they was all back to back. Like, it made the local news when y'all broke up. Like, ladies and gentlemen, Shawnisha just went through a very bad breakup. Fellas, you know what to do. Or, hey, ladies, Arshawn just got out of a terrible relationship. You know what to do. You gotta need to, like, no. You ain't healed back to, like, no. Take some time for yourself. Go on vacation. Find out who you are. Become better acquainted with yourself. Learn how to love yourself. Learn how to actively heal. Actually take care of yourself. Then, actively heal. Learn to love yourself. Learn the things about yourself that you do love. Make it a point to change those things that you can't stand about yourself and make them work to your advantage, or learn to love yourself. Honestly, I just want to see y'all in good romantic relationships and these healthy romantic relationships. It should not be normal that these bad relationships are the norm. It's not okay. Make sure you're good before you get into a relationship. It should not be they're my better half. It should be overflow, baby. Like, y'all two should be full before you get in a relationship with each other. Okay? Honestly, I love all of you, and I want to see all of you do well, okay? I want to see each and every single one of you. This is me about to end the video, but I love all of you, okay? Mwah.